Okay. We are on now, so they can connect. We are on now. Yes. Are you sure you copied it to this flash? Because I cannot find it.
Yeah.
Many things, especially in their territorial demons, they are everywhere, in every place, ready to listen to what.
Is this it?
No, on the score. It's really not there.
Please try and copy it again. No, you can't. Sorry. You can just start now. There's no issue. I'm like, we have speakers, it will project. Okay. Yeah, it's not showing up on here.
Yeah, why we are not meant to be committing sin? If there's any way that you have taken wrong step, turn please. Any moment can be dangerous.
Then we cannot bring guilt.
Bring guilt, even it can wound somebody.
Is this
So
it?
then somebody,
Ma, sorry, excuse me, can you come and check? Is this it? Is this me? Because this is a
Yes.
PDF.
Yeah, these are them. PDF is okay, right?
I thought it was a PowerPoint.
There is one PowerPoint and there are 3 PDF.
Okay, should I just copy this? Because I cannot show a PDF. So, why sharing the screen as a PowerPoint? Do you want to present a PowerPoint or you just want to, okay, don't worry.
it's supposed to be as powerful as a PDF, not PowerPoint, not copy. If you copy it, we mix it together.
Yes. One person present PowerPoint.
But I have to share your screen as a slideshow. No?
Yes.
It has to be PowerPoint.
It mustn't be PowerPoint.
PowerPoint, yes.
It must not be PowerPoint.
We've done this separately. But maybe the system is not very good.
Dr. May, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Trevor.
Okay, I'm saying that mustn't be PowerPoint. With PDF, you can still project it that way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm standing by.
Okay, thank you.
Can you ask if they can share their screen from Zoom?
Yeah, it's possible now.
They can share their screen from Zoom.
It's possible.
Okay. Then what happens to my
Your own is PDF. Okay, don't worry about that. I will share it from here. I'll share
Okay.
your PDF from your slideshow from here. Your presentation is I just want to get it straight. Peter AI visual arts presentation, no?
Where are they?
Is this it? Is this your presentation?
Yes, that is one person. That's the first presenter. It's not me.
We
I
must.
put them in one folder.
That's not.
Is this you?
No, please put them in folder. Them all together in one folder. AI.
Okay, so you want us to project
Yes.
this?
Yes, starting with this, please put up this, so maybe you number them here, so that, okay, this one, their names are here, this is Uchendo, Terevo, Ita, me. So just project this, it's our panel page.
What should I project now?
I am.
Okay, no problem. Did you wait? So it's like
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our panel. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, I'm around.
Miss Uchendo, I see you.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, welcome, Miss Uchendo.
Ma, can you stand in front of the camera? This is the setting of the projector. You want it bigger? Okay. What screen of what? Is it for the projector or the screen of what are you saying?
I think I'm sure it's possible.
Okay.
Welcome to this panel. My name is May Okafor, and I am one of the chairs of this panel. The other chair is Uchenna. And
I'm sorry, this is the best.
AI and creativity, interrogating evolving landscapes in visual arts. You know, before now, it's very common for you to read a story and believe it as having been written by a real person. It's easy to look at a picture, especially videos, and know that, oh, okay, this happened in a certain place at a certain time. it's easy to see designs, for instance, or any artwork, and then know, oh, someone somewhere created this. But with the, with the advent of AI, these are now, I mean, you look at pictures and it's easy to doubt them. You look at a person on your phone and you're wondering, oh, is this a person or maybe AI generated image? You look at a design, it's like that in fashion, it's like that in advertisement, in almost every sector of our businesses in life. So that is the interest of this panel, and in a very profound way, these changes, this evolution from AI has affected arts and design. So now we're looking at these dynamics that are taking place and have continued to take place in arts and design. We're looking at how they have affected us and how they have continued to affect us, and we are also projecting possibilities about the future. So we have 4 presenters: Peter Audu, Trevor Morgan, May Okafor, myself, and then Chisom Uchendu. We are all artists, interestingly, and we are going to talk very personally about our observations and, textual references and all of that, trying to, interrogate the evolving landscape here. So, Peter Audu, are you here? Okay, so we start with the next presenter. It's Trevor Morgan. Dr. Trevor, are you with us?
Okay,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yes, so please take it.
My name is Trevor Morgan from Fine and Applied Arts, Fine and Industrial Arts, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I'll be presenting a paper with the topic, Exploring the Place and Potentials of Artificial Intelligence in Visual Communication Design through the Practice of Selected Artists. And in this paper, I have 3 keywords: image making, visual communication design, artificial intelligence, under which we have the perception, the practice, and the creative techniques. That's in slide 2. Now, when you come to slide 3, I began to show a kind of account of what has transpired around image making, because AI in visual communication design is actually about image making. And the first account of image making as a way of communication is what we see, or what happened at Lascaux Cave Wall, where the ancient people, the prehistoric people, used illustrations to determine what they wanted. So that is the first mention, or the first account, about 40,000 BC to 10,000 BC. Now, after that, we came to woodcut printing technique of image making, which began in China in 18th century. That is what happened, and that led to the practice of printmaking as a way of image production. After that, we came to movable types, also in China in 11th century, where people carve the artwork they want to represent or the texts they want to print and collect them into a movable type that is called letterpress. And when that is printed, they can now put new text in for the next printing. That was another way of reproduction and image making until the Renaissance time, when art came to the peak. Human representation, image making also came to the height. And it was this time that the Gutenberg press was invented in the 15th century, precisely 1439. And that gave a leap to the production of image. Now, in 1826, photography was also invented by Joseph Nicephore, and it was now advanced direction. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, that became an advanced dimension of image making. Between 1960s to 1970s, there was also an improvement, a milestone of digital imaging when digital cameras were found or invented, and that was by Stephen Sasson at Eastman Caddock Company. Precisely in 1975, the first digital camera was made. And then in the 1980s, software applications for design began to emerge, and that gave rise to computer-generated images. And that's why we have applications like Adobe Suite, CorelDRAW, PageMaker. Those days, some of them have fizzled out and given rise to new ones. Then in 2010, the artificial intelligence image making came to be known. Although we are aware that from the 1950s, there has been attempts by artists who were scientists and programmers. They began to make personal efforts to make images. But it was not until around 2010 that this became a little clearer. And we have the person of Harold Cohen. His was called Aaron in 1973. But in 2022, the recent time, there became an influx of generative AI chatbots after OpenAI released their ChatGPT. And that was the beginning of the influx we see today that is giving rise to what we are discussing. Now, in this paper, I have the methodology in three parts. There is a qualitative one, humanities kind of research, not quantitative, not numbers, not scientific, just to discuss about what happens in the humanities. And my data is visual data, images of the artists that I discuss, and then the analysis will be visual as well as technical, which we actually point or boil down to the techniques the artists employ in making of art that is generated or assisted by AI. Now, I have two artists to discuss. The first one is Jibrin Ebenezer, is an artist trained in University of Nigeria. And I also talk about Jide Okonkwo, an artist also trained in University of Nigeria. Now, at the text, in the slide, you are going to see the posters there that were generated and assisted by AI, made by Ebenezer Jibrin. And then in the next slide, you see another one that is figure 3 and 4, another set of images. Now, what I want to do is to show these images first, then I will give us the definition, I give us the perception, the practice, and the workflow. When you go down also, you see the work made by Jide Okonkwo. Now, it's important, the reason I put the first two, which is figure 5 and figure 6, is to show us what he was doing before he came in contact with AI. He has such capacity of illustration, such expertise of illustration that he simulates images using computer. But that is different from AI. Although I'm aware that even before AI became so rampant today, all the software that was used, both the creative suite of Adobe, those from Corel and what have you, they had some elements of artificial intelligence which allows the artist to derive certain results, even with click of the mouse. Now, while Jide Okonkwo was getting himself art practice before the AI, he could use those software more adeptly. So what are we saying? Come to figure 7 and figure 8. What I'm going to do now is to run down the definitions of their practice. I want to bring about what happens in the practice of Jibrin Ebenezer, and I'll bring about what happens in the practice and workflow of Jide Okonkwo. Now, from Jibrin Ebenezer, I bring out from him the perception and the practice. Now, if you remember, when the computer came, many years, maybe late 80s and early 90s into Nigeria, for example, many artists were surprised and they were thinking of the computer as a banal tool, a tool that will not suffice for creativity. And so many of them did not want to get involved in that, and they looked down on it. So they didn't embrace the tool at the outset. But as time went on, they began to make use of it, and that is what has taken place now, taking hold of the creative industry. Now, Jubril Ebenezer is asserting, that is in slide 15, that the tendency to view AI as a common and non-professional thing stems from surface level understanding of its capabilities. So he calls the AI generative image making platform and chatbots as a resource that enhances creative possibilities. He is saying there is a way to perceive it as a professional and make it a tool. He notes that the true potential of generative AI for image making can be realized through comprehensive exploration, experimentation, especially by creative. Creative are those who are trained in the field. But today, what do you see? You see the masses trying to generate from the platforms and flood it everywhere in the internet. But all of those, many of them are banal. They are frivolous. But it requires an artist to see how to engage those images from the creative point. Jubril also sees an interest of the AI in making images, that is image generation, in creating voiceovers, in script writing, and development of storyboards, mood boards, and journals or script, what do you call it, sketches now, roughs for projects. And he insists that images from AI software application like Photoshop can be used to improve images. So it's not just generating them, but as an artist, when you generate, you bring them to the software application where you now work on them to make it more professional and make it more presentable. Now, he emphasizes that AI should be an integral part of the workflow. It should be part of the workflow and not just to go there, generate, and whatever you receive, you push out. So I understand from his own practice that he creates posters with those, he sends the prompts, put the words in, and the poster emerges. But beyond that, it requires an artist who knows the lingua franca, the terms, the terminologies of art to be able to generate these things in professional mode. So he uses Midjourney, Leonardo, Copilot, and the rest. Now, when you come to the workflow of Jido Konkwo, he is an entrepreneur who actually commercializes art. He works for MTN, works for different companies based in Lagos, and he sees AI from that point of view, in which commercial activities can progress. And then he goes for realism and hyperrealism. Now, as I communicated with him, he let me know that there are definitive parameters that can be set in your prompting, such as aperture setting, that is camera settings now. You have shutter speed, you have depth of field, compression level, lightning, and all of that. And when, as an artist, you are able to input those things using the language of art and the definitions as such, then you are able to realize outputs that will present themselves as professional. So he does work with 2D and 3D outputs for designs and videos, and working with ChatGPT-4, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, creating a kind of series of videos and imageries, which he posts on social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, and the rest. And he also defined that if an artist is going to work with AI, he must have a good control of such traditional tools like Photoshop, CorelDRAW, and then other kind of tools that will help enhance the output from the AI platform. And another thing that is important, when you look at those images like you have in figure 7 and figure 8, you will see he uses different kind of shot types Short types are camera types, close-up, long shots, and what have you, as well as different camera angles. And when these things are juxtaposed and brought together in a single video production or image making, then you find a professional result happening. And so his works are highly immersive in composition. The visual effects are thorough with lighting, shadows, and colors, and what have you. So when you get to the social media handle link that you have there, you'll be able to see some of the works you have done. So in all, the takeaway from this is that although there is banality of the social, of the artificial intelligence image making, artists can leverage on this with the possibility and the potential of their creative tools, such as CorelDRAW now, or Photoshop, and After Effects, and the rest. So what is there for us to know is that we cannot utterly discard it, but to fall in line because it has come to be, and we can actually determine how we use it. So I believe artificial intelligence has potentials and a place for artists of today. With that, I summarize this presentation. I hope to send the article written so that we have a better look and understanding of how the paper has been woven. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Trevor. Yeah, that was such a great presentation. And the next in line is myself. That's myself. Good afternoon again, everybody. Yeah. Please show. Let's open page 1 of the
Okay. May is AI democratization. Can you see the screen, please? Hello?
Dr. Trevor?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, we can't.
You can?
No, not yet, we can't.
You can't. Oh, he said it's post. Come he said screen sharing is post. Come and check the play. It's in screen sharing is post. See?
I can start while we try to fix that. So the title of my presentation is AI a democratization of arts and design? Lessons from the source. I find a lot of similarities between what's going on right now with AI and camera, because I think I hear a little bit of history about camera and some challenges that we face today with AI was also faced with the invention of the camera. There were questions, there were issues of ethics, there were kind of protested. Like it's a process. What's going to happen to our future? What's going to happen to our skills and all of that? So in this paper, I have come to compare the way AI is going on now and what happened to camera. So here is a roadmap. First, I'll talk about AI and its impact on fields. Here, I'll discuss the excitements and all versus the apprehension. And then, what is democratization in this context? There's a statement, political framework, ubiquitous camera issues, and democratization. Here we look at the history, evolution, and implications. And then AI in arts and design, promises of democratization, challenges and limitations in AI democratization, lessons from the ubiquitous camera. let's probably put first categories to AI and then the conclusion. You see this whole roadmap, one keyword kept on repeating itself, and that's democratization. And before we go on, I'll give a description of what I mean by democratization in this context. Okay. Okay, to introduce AI and BT. So I said the advent of artificial intelligence. The advent of artificial intelligence has ushered in a period of profound fascination across numerous sectors, including the range of arts and design. Artists and designers are exploring the potential of AI as both a tool and a collaborator, pushing the boundaries of creativity to new heights. As much as the development is basically exciting, it has, however, raised some crucial concerns and debates in the industry. During the introduction of this panel, I tried to highlight the fact that we question almost everything we see on our screens these days. You see, a moment ago, I was with a friend and then we saw some food. And I was like, no, this is AI. He said, no, I don't think it's AI. And then you see a video, you see, for instance, Michael Jackson hugging somebody you know very well on the street. And then you're wondering how manage you just questioning almost everything. You no longer take things like we used to. So AI has come to question all that we used to know about arts and creativity, all that we used to know about digital world. So now speaking of democratization. Okay, the next slide.
Okay.
The next slide, what are the concerns that have emerged in the creative industry? We are thinking about the issues of authorship. We are looking at originality. We are talking about copyright. Who owns the work? Like the works that we sell from the industry. You see yourself questioning, okay, now that AI has created this, who really owns the work? Is it the artist or is it the AI? We are questioning the issues of limits. Just like in research, like we all know, you see people, they will go to AI, download something, put in a research paper. So you're wondering, at what extent do we stop the borrowing or lifting from AI? Yes, and the issue of ethics, the future, where exactly are we headed in all of this? So now, to define democratization in this context, we first look at democracy. Next level. Look at democracy, and democracy in itself means power to the people, broadly. Power to the people or power to the masses. But if we want to look at it more holistically, it's power by the people, to the people, and for the people. So, traditionally, art is known to have high barriers to entry. So, along with issues of talents, before you get into arts, you're expected to be talented. There were issues of lengthy training period for some. Some people may not need that kind of lengthy training period, for some may. And then cost of materials, and materials are always going to be very expensive. Now, those barriers or those hindrances or criteria have now been stepped down by AI, and now AI gives power by the people, because it's people that created this, they're operating the AI breathing tools and all of that. So by the people, and then to the people, for the people, we all use it. And even if you don't, it is created and then you become a consumer eventually. So in that process, it's for you as a consumer. So now the contextual implications of this sort of democratization, there is wider participation and appreciation. Like I said, being a consumer, you are part of the appreciation, and then being a creator, you are directly participating in the process of AI-driven arts and design. And then there is accessibility. There's that high accessibility to tools and materials. The tools that used to be expensive now you just need to press your laptop or press your phone. Even if you don't have any of these devices, you borrow, press, and that's your design. You have it there. So there is now that accessibility to tools and materials. You want to create an oil painting, and you see yourself no longer thinking of going to market to check the prices of oil tubes. You're just sitting in your laptop and checking what AI can do for you. And then there is reduced authenticity. The AI engineers have made, they are usually lost into the companies that they work for. So you don't even know the artists or the engineers who created this. All you know is that you're using that app, they're using that software, they're using that tool, and all of that. So these pose as some of the challenges in the industry. Now, the thesis statement. While AI presents significant opportunities for democratizing, for democratizing arts and design, it also carries inherent challenges and limitations, mirroring the complex impacts of the ubiquitous camera and photography. To understand these intricate dynamics, we need not to look solely to the future. Historical parallels offer invaluable insights. So there is this saying that to move forward, we first have to move backward. And that's why we have camera to see what we can learn from it. How are they being connected? How does the eye relate to the camera and that? And in terms of theory, I'm looking at the democratization of art, culture, art of culture. Now the theory it's been first used in art areas like print and press, the internet, and now photography. These are things that, like democracy, gave power to the people. The print and press used to be very large machines. This one is quite small for the, for the former size of the presses. But now you slot it into a tiny machine when your papers are printed from any side. So the key aspects include expanding audiences, diversifying artistic expressions, and challenging traditional gatekeepers, like the galleries, the art institutions, and all of that. Now let's look at the history of the camera and its evolution. The first camera, known as camera obscura, and that's not even what you see in the image review. The camera obscura dates back into history. It's besides dates boss, but it used to be a very large room, a very large dark room with a tiny hole to look through. Now that camera is what gave birth to the pinhole camera. The pinhole camera is a type of camera obscura, but now smaller. That's the one in the image. At this level, it's still a box. It's still a box with a door that casts images. But now the image it will cast is never permanent. It's just for you to view and maybe draw, or maybe just view and appreciate it on paper, and that's all. You're going to take the paper and the image for. So, but after that, somebody else, Joseph Nixon, was able to develop a way to make those images that were cast permanent. And we developed that as recent as 1826. I mean, looking at the widespread of the camera technology, it's a bit surprising, isn't it? To realize that the first actual camera for photography has for permanent pictures emerged in 1826. And that's the first picture that we created from that camera in 1826. So it's a view from the window. And yes, and that's the earliest surviving photograph. This method required a licensing paper to be exposed for up to 6 hours. So to make the image permanent on paper, you would expose the image to light for up to 6 hours. And then from that pinhole camera came this one. Still a pinhole camera, still with the camera obscura version, but now smaller, more portable. And at this point, it became commercially available. Because of its portability and efficiency, of course, as time went by, there were improvements in the industry. So it became commercially available, and then shortened the exposure to about 5 to 10 minutes. But that's some remarkable leap in the art and photography industry. Soon after its commercial availability, realism, we asked to know about realism. So soon after its commercial availability, realism became the predominant style in Western art. You know how these different aspects of art express themselves. So the fact that there were now a possibility of a real photograph, now affected the arts itself, and people started going to realistic drawings and paintings, and then later to sculpture and all of that. And now, from that camera, there were lots and lots of modifications, changes in the industry, up to what we now know as the digital camera. So the digital camera was invented in 1975. But it wasn't until the 1990s that they became commercially available. Then around the 1990s and 2000, digital cameras became even more widespread. They became more affordable and more portable. It could fit into pockets and all of that. So now the prices also dropped. Image quality improved all at the same time. And then came the rise of smartphones, which I believe we all have. The smartphones have now found a way to even improve the camera qualities. And yes, with the smartphone, with the widespread of smartphones, dedicated digital cameras declined significantly in the 2010s. By dedicated, that's not the ones in the smartphone, but the camera you just buy and it's a camera, that's it. So the sales of that one significantly dropped as smartphones became more widespread and therefore more puts the camera technology to the hands of people very highly. And at that point, there was no longer need for visualization, photography, or art. So anybody could snap, anybody could capture images, anybody could print them, and anybody could have a picture to put up to own. So implications of ubiquity in camera use and photography. As we talk about availability, accessibility, both production and consumption, and discuss that, democratization. Now, just anybody can create art. Now, don't need a special skill, you don't need a special certificate to become a creator. And then there is now a shift in creating taste. Before, what we would consider, oh, this is top notch. It has changed over time, and now you just take a random picture and it's regarded as, oh, photograph, that's it. So also shifting notions of authenticity, digital art manipulation, oversaturation and visual noise, just like news and information. There is now pictures everywhere. This has also affected the consumption of pictures and images. And now the people concerns, of course, like I emphasized. So artistic and ethical challenges that emerge with the rise of camera. There is the issue of authenticity, originality, authorship, copyright, limits, and then what's future. Notice very significantly how these issues reflect the issues that we earlier saw in slide, I think slide 3. Please check slide 3. One looks like okay, slide 4. Yes.
Concern, right?
So, yes. So now the issues we face with AI today, which is on the screen, each of them is very similar to the issues that we faced with the camera when the camera emerged. Artists felt challenged. Oh, if I take this picture with a camera, who is the creator? Who becomes the real artist? Is it the camera? Is it the camera company? Kodak, Samsung, Sony, Is it the camera company? Is it myself who is behind the camera? What's the issue? What's the exact? What's the copyright issue that one can look at? And then there was issue of authenticity, originality. At that point I used the tool to create it. But before then, even if you use a tool to be anything like this, not one that just click a button and that's all. So it became a problem. It was not precedented, nothing like this had ever happened. before then. So issues like that were raised: authenticity, originality, authorship, copyright, limits. Where do I stop? If I just press the shutter, that enough, or should I go ahead to manipulate it over, say, a printing machine before it can be considered art, or this, or this, or that, or that? So, but interestingly, these are no longer considered to be a major challenge in the creative industry today. So, we have successfully navigated these challenges for the camera. So the ubiquity of camera use and photography has therefore fundamentally challenged the landscape of arts and design. Remember, we're still talking about the camera. It has democratized image creation, influenced artistic styles and content, brought the development of new forms of visual expression. Very importantly, however, factors that created major concerns in the industry are no longer considered problems today. So you see how over time and over the years, creative industry researchers and the general society were able to come together and agree, okay, if you actually press this shutter, just press the shutter, the image is yours, not the camera companies and not the camera. So at that point, the camera becomes like every other art tool that's been used to create something. Using a pencil to make a drawing does not give credit to the pencil. And does not give credit to the pencil company, it gives credit to the person behind the pencil. So in a similar way, that's the situation I was agreed on with camera. So with the camera now, the person who presses the shutter is the real artist today. Right now, it's not debatable anyway. Sorry. But the person behind the camera is the real artist of an image that was created in the camera. So I try to compare it with a pencil, using a pencil or a pen, or any other art tool, a brush, oil paint, using your hands to create whatever. It's you behind that creation that is today considered the real artist. So, and then similar to that debate, some people would say, okay, what if I appear in the picture that you snap? Myself appearing there, am I the artist? Do I own part of the world? Do I? But the answer remains no. The only emphasis to that is the person, whoever is behind this, some level of permission needs to be taken from the person, in some sense, for research ethics. But then in terms of ownership, in terms of authorship, copyright, what have you, that person does not have any business with anything. And then somebody else would ask, okay, I come to this classroom, I capture this classroom, somebody else captures it. There could be 10 pictures of this same classroom by different people. How can these different people now own something that is almost exactly the same thing? But then the answer is still no. Even if they are exactly the same, it is still the person who's now each of them that owns it. So now AI, back to AI pattern design, and looking at these factors that we have pointed out for camera. You find that now we are having a lot of questions about AI. We are having, go to page 4 again. We're having a lot of questions about AI. I've seen artists who, before they create an article, they go to AI and ask for a sketch. And then AI gives them a sketch, and then they go on to create an artwork. From the previous presentation, we also saw artists whose works, look like they were not even manipulated at all. They look like AI works, and then you see the artist taking credits to the work. And then, just similar things to what we saw with camera. And with the answers that we have seen, with the evolution of the camera, it is, one may suggest that it's okay to suggest that just maybe with time, these issues around AI will easily be resolved, just like we have easily resolved that camera. And now the challenges and limitations to AI during democratization may eventually become similar to what we are currently experiencing with the camera, the visual noise. Now there is photography almost everywhere. You open your phone, Facebook is pushing them to you. Meta, all forms of meta, all forms of social media, pushing links to you. Now we have lost our attention span, not lost, but it has reduced our attention span. We just want quick and catchy, because there is a lot out there and you want to reduce what you consume. So similarly, I'm suggesting that AI, the way it has also democratized its use, or democratized as a design, just like the camera. It may also eventually get to the visual noise and more reduction of the or increased reduction of the attention span, similar to the camera. Yes, those are basically the lessons from the trust camera. And then I become the one of time. And in conclusion, while offering unprecedented access to opportunities, AI is democratizing potential is tempered by ethical, economic, and philosophical challenges, similar to the camera's strategy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Middle-Capo. You may sit down. So this is really wonderful. Can we clap for her again? I'm so much interested in the history of camera down to computer, then the introduction of AI in art and design. Please let us not take much of our time because we need to close early and go for dinner before we are finished. We'll move to the next person. That's Chisom. Chisom, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Chisom. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Please, I would like to ask that my slides be projected from that point, if possible.
Possible for you. You can present now.
Mark, is it possible for you to share your screen instead of us projecting from here?
Okay, let me.
You should share a screen, please.
You would have to give me. You would have to permit me to share. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay. I believe you can see my screen now.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Ma,
My name is
presentation yet. We are
Sorry?
just the files.
You are just.
We're only seeing the files in your storage. We can't see your presentation yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can. Yeah.
You just need to click on your document for the presentation.
I already did, actually. It's
going now.
We have it now.
You can see it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Once again, my name is Chisom Uchendu from the Department of Fine and Industrial Arts, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. And the title of my presentation is Creative Outsourcing or Escapism, Ethics and the Use of Artificial Intelligence in the Academic Space by students of Visual Communication Design. So basically my paper is on education rather, using students of visual communication design the University of Nigeria and Nsukka as into about 4 points, 4 parts, then the discussion and then the conclusion. So I start by introducing the topic. Due to the leaps and bounds that the scientific field has made in the last 15 years, from about the early 2010s up until now, Buchanan 2006 situates the origins of AI in fantasies, possibilities, demonstrations, and promise. He asserts that imagined mechanical assistants became part of human culture since the ancient Greek poet Homer wrote about mechanical tripods waiting on the gods. Of course, today we know that AI is a reality. Back then it was just imagined, but now we have with us, everyone has access to it. Today, modern artificial intelligence is now assisting humans in a diverse range of activities, including the design of graphics for visual communication design. Visual communication design is an industrial art specialization concerned with the communication of information and ideas through visual media. Areas of visual communication design include advertising, animation, branding, publication design, and so forth. Some common generative AI tools for creating art and graphics include Midjourney, Leonardo.ai, Copilot, Gemini, Bing Image Creator, and so forth. This widespread and unregulated access to generative AI tools is causing disruptions in the visual communication design domain. Today, with AI, anyone is a designer, with or without actual design knowledge and skills. Also, students in academic graphic design programs, such as UNN, are now using AI to create work for their assignments and exams. This has been the case for students of visual communication design at the Department of Fine and Industrial Arts, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. These students' engagement with AI for their academic work and the ethical issues surrounding their behavior is what my paper seeks to address. So very briefly, I'm going to move to literature review, just a very brief overview. The literature on AI and ethics is vast and cross-disciplinary. Concerns over the use of AI in society have led to the emergence of a sub-discipline of ethics called AI ethics, which is concerned with the development of frameworks and guidelines to ensure ethical use of AI in society. Whittlestone et al. 2019 aver that AI systems promise widespread benefits to society while also posing substantial risks across almost all sectors. The education sector, of course, has been affected by AI, and a large and growing number of scholars have weighed in on the positive and negative impacts of this technology on education. It appears from my review that favorable perspectives on the use of AI in education are bound. According to Lively et al. 2023, for instance, the integration of AI in curricula is crucial for preparing students for the future of web design, development, user interface, and user experience. Contrary opinions on the use of AI in academics are apparently fewer. For scholars like Frankie and Alexander et al., or rather for scholars like Frankie and Alexander 2019, AI use should be banned in higher education due to concerns over widespread plagiarism, for which AI has a tendency. Now I will discuss how AI impacts learning of graphic design at University of Nigeria, Nsukka. The use of AI is as yet not compatible with the visual communication design program at UNN due to some unwritten regulations that determine what kinds of graphics students are allowed to use for their work and how their work is expected to be created. These guidelines include, first, that students should create the images for their designs themselves by photographing objects or friends and classmates as advert models. Secondly, students are expected to create their work themselves using standard graphic design software like Adobe Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro, as well as CorelDRAW and any others. Students use images sourced from the internet where absolutely necessary, but should edit and adapt them to their own work if needed, other than the students themselves, which graphic media from a source. The use of AI is not yet permitted in the design program at UNN. So the fact that graphic design students at UNN go ahead to use AI in their work, despite these regulations, forms a basis for concluding that their use of AI is unethical. Of course, there are other academic settings around the world in which using AI is permitted and not considered unethical. A study by Adnin et al. 2025 highlights this. The study, which focused on student and teacher perspectives on undisclosed usage of AI in academic work, established the use of AI while others don't, cite to teachers or to their peers when they fear punishment from their teachers or judgment from their peers. Third, students realize that using AI when it is not permitted is like cheating or gaining a competitive edge over peers. And fourth, teachers outrightly banning AI is a futile mission because AI is here to stay. Therefore, they should rather advocate for a balance between the use and non-use of AI for the benefit of students. A different study by Luo 2024 shows that AI creates an environment of low trust between teachers and students. And this is actually an ongoing situation at the University of Nigeria Nsukka in our graphic design program, where lecturers are not always sure what the source of students' assignments and exams actually are. And this has been affecting the way that lecturers respond to students' work in terms of grading. Lecturers in the program also have observed a progressive decline in the quality of work turned in by students, not necessarily due to their use of AI, but as a result of what appears to be the students' unwillingness to really learn the situation, because when they do not have the requisite knowledge and design skills and depend instead on AI to do their work for them, they are actually missing out on the point of being the program in the first place. So the introduction of AI into an already adverse situation further exacerbates it, making AI a problem rather than a solution, which it can be in certain contexts. By way of conclusion, I believe that the use of AI in itself is not necessarily always a negative thing. The use of AI by graphic design students seems a welcome development in academic settings other than UNN's Visual Communication Design program. Perhaps in time, lecturers may consider officially allowing students some level of AI use in their work proves, and AI has become a positive rather than a negative factor in the academic experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We lost some of your words, but I think we all understand what you're saying. Yes, we all followed it. Thank you very much. So I don't know if you have questions. Just stay put. You'll hear from the audience. If you have any questions.
All right, thank you.
Let the audience talk to you, right? Okay. To anybody. So I want us to stay. Let's hang up. Anybody wants to talk to you? Okay, you want to address? Okay, let's listen.
Perhaps it's okay to number them so that we take all the questions and then respond at once. Okay. So you ask your question and after you want to ask number 2, number 3. Okay, 3 people and
all right.
You want to ask? Okay. 4.
Yes, thank you.
4. Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Wonderful presentation. Yes. By the way, I'm not from the British Party.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am religious bias, and then I had a connection, especially when the first speaker I was still trying to understand here and there. But by the time you made your own presentation, it reminded me of our foundation.
I can hear you.
Ma, can you hear us? Hello, if you're on Zoom, please.
Yes, I can.
You can hear us. Okay.
Dr. Trevor,
I can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
The foundational argument in literature, going back to Plato, Plato had some kind of understanding with the arts, because it sees the art as a mediator with the creator. So he believed that yes, the artist is closer to God, because he can bring from from the the essence into the being. All right, and then they had problem with us, the different artists, and then that was where the art got it. The artist became the mediator, he became the co-creator. All right, he made us understand even God better. All right, so the first presenter made an argument about this role of the artist as an indicator, even with the coming of AI. He's not afraid of it, but he said, providing instances, how that the artist now becomes a mediator also, but then almost displaced by AI, yet you could still function as a mediator. All right, so that role is still there, even with the emergence of the AI. Then you came, and I was wondering, how then has AI democratized the people? I am thinking, I'm worried too, with the arts. I am worried, and I'm thinking too, that the same AI may have been democratizing, all right? The artist itself, while empowering the people. So it's not like the win-win, all right? Just like the instances she gave about the camera. Today we had a lot of shots, and then we don't even need a photographer.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
So it means therefore, and I worry that we would not need a department of fine and applied art again. Yes. Because if we don't go back to what the first presenter, in finding a way of mediating, and that is the essence, that is the place of the artist as a mediator. If they don't lost that edge, if they lost the edges as co-creator, then the department, I'm afraid, because I will just through the my own writing. I know the beauty. What creates what they call aesthetics is to see the ability of a human being to create the process and the end, and they go, wow. So it means that I can do that, the sense of aesthetics. But if we are also celebrating that the economy of the artist is secure because it does not need to go to the market woman who survives on the selling of pens, then the artist also should believe that the patronage that has been slain might also be lost. So the last speaker concentrated on me. I mean, what I need. All right? So I feel that, okay, she is doing like punishing AI if she could. All right? Sorry? That AI should, of course, because of the original, the loss of agency, the loss of originality. All right? It means that the people you are training like we to be creative in the way we think, in writing, you also lost, all right, that process that you are trying to guide your learner to be creative, all right? Since they don't need to create, they need to generate, all right? So, saying you should go, we should make a case against this. And the same thing we have discussed that in the process of writing, for example, papers, some people just go there now and then they throw it away, and then there is no originality. There's a loss of agency, and that is what Plato was scared of when he was talking about literature. All right, the ethical issues. Well, essentially, what Plato was trying to talk about. All right, the originality in terms of the shift from reality. The shift from reality. So I am worried. That is just what I try to express. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, so second person.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's very brief. I will try. I will try. I will try. Yeah. My name is Sunday. Kingway from Obafemi University. Yes. Can you hear me?
He can.
I can hear you, yes.
Wonderful,
Can
wonderful.
hear you.
So thank you for the wonderful presentations. I have learned something that we appreciate you well. Now I will start from I guess the first speaker, Trevor Morgan. Are you there? Are you hearing me, Trevor Morgan?
Trevor, are you there?
I don't think it's there.
Okay, he's on. So you can unmute yourself. He's a panelist. You can do that.
Yeah, I want to be sure you can. Let me pen that. Let me pen.
Maybe we can help, yeah.
All right, I wanted to ask that what exactly is the central argument of in research? Exploring the potentials of artificial intelligence. Yes, we know that there are so many potentials in artificial intelligence. It's trying to explore the potentials of artificial intelligence in visual communication design through the practice of selected arts. What he wasn't speaking to the paper. He was just reading. He wasn't really giving an analysis. So I really want to ask and understand the central argument. Let me go that phrase. The easy statement of this research. So that's as regards the first speaker. The second speaker, I guess, Mayor Kafo, am I correct?
Yes.
Second, yes. Thank you very much for engaging us. I really enjoyed your presentation. Very, very wonderful. I'll be asking some questions and also making some comments. And I believe they will help you adjust your research. My first question is this. Has AI done more harm than good? You were able to you're able to give us the positive perspectives of AI, which I agree with. Okay, but I really want you, I want you to have a stand thought, okay, in your research. I want you to convince the audience and readers about your position as AI really don't more harm than good. It's a question I'm throwing to you, and I believe you would give us answers to that. And also, you spoke about the idea of the title of your paper got me interested. Is AI a democratization of arts and design? I was confused at first because there are two terms of arts: democracy, politics, and AI, and artistry. So I was wondering the connection, but you were able to break it down, and I can see that I understand it quite all right. But then, if we democratize AI, in your context of analysis, it means that well, the ordinary people can use it. That's been, that's been simplified in the context of democracy. That's simplified such that people do not necessarily need the technical skill to start using AI. I understood that very well, and this is my question. In the context of analysis, can we then say that AI has disrupted or reduced the prestige of professionalism? It has. If you speak in that direction, then I can say that the ordinary people can make designs and be wondering if those people actually have the skill. So in that context, we can argue that AI has actually disrupted or reduced the prestige of professionalism. So you can put that your research. And also this one is also a comment, not really a question. You can dwell more on the binaries between AI and reality. You can talk about juxtaposition, AI versus reality. It will also enrich your paper. And lastly, on May, Dr. May Okapo, I want to give a suggestion as regards the theoretical aspect of research. You could be on Harold Bloom. Yes, Harold Bloom theory of anxiety of influence. It's a theory. Harold Bloom from the Google writing of influence. So Harold Bloom argues that there was nothing actually new under the sun. Okay, AI and it's just a recreation. There's nothing new actually. We can put that into your
Yeah,
research. And lastly, the last speaker, Chisom Uchendu, you
from outside.
you
From
you
outside.
made a statement, and I wrote it down here, but I really want you to contrast. You said Homer's
Okay.
fictional writings was an
You see that?
example of chatbots. That expression calls me because I belong to literature, and when you mention Homer, I can understand that it's a
Yes.
classical writer. So what are you driving at? I really want you to shed some light on that. Thank you very much.
Next question, please.
It's very great.
Okay.
Very, very great.
My name is Sylvester. So, my question is actually related to the last. When you mentioned AI,
Yeah.
how come incorporate AI ethics because it's good? And what does can she expand AI ethics? Okay, for last it was one I talked about.
Yeah.
How AI can be incorporated in the present world.
Yes.
Yeah,
Something-
Chisom Uchendu.
So did you get that?
Not you.
It's just
I didn't quite get it. Can you hear me?
Yes, my question is
Please, can you stop
Okay.
breathing into your speaker? It's affecting our hearing here.
my question is how
Okay.
can we create AI etiquettes in our today's world? And can you expatiate more on AI etiquettes?
We have a
Okay.
question online as
AI.
well. Miss Chisom, sorry, before you answer, we have a question online. Can we take that as
All right.
well before you start? Mr. Steven, can you please ask your question now? Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I mean, just a few comments. I'm not directing questions to anybody. Unfortunately, I couldn't even see Uchendu's slide. But one of the things that I could say is that there's no doubt that there's been disruptions we have experienced through AI. But one of the things I also know is that the human mind, the human brain,
Sorry, Mr.
it might not
Steven.
be as
Mr. Steven, please hold on. Dr. Trevor, can you please mute yourself?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Steven, you can carry on, sir.
Okay, I can hear you.
There's no doubt that we have.
I can hear you.
Dr. Trevor, please mute yourself, sir.
I didn't hear you, sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you. Just mute yourself. You can mute your speaker, sir.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Steven, please carry on, sir.
Yeah, just to comment that there's significant disruptions in all facets of life with respect to artificial intelligence, AI as we call it today. So whether in ads, even in games such as chess, it's said that AI has significantly impacted the game. But even at that, people still continue to play chess. Artists continue to produce their works of art. No matter what the situation might be. I mean, many years ago, when the computer itself first came out, there was that notion that was muted that, hey, the computer will take away the jobs of certain humans and so on. Yeah, maybe that's reduced it. But you see, one of the things I've always believed about the human mind is that elasticity, the elasticity that allows humans to even think about artificial intelligence itself. And no one knows tomorrow. We don't exactly know where we're going tomorrow. And that's why even behind AI is the humans. Tomorrow, we do not yet know what happens when human beings themselves will come by to combat what they have created in terms of AI. And one thing about humans is the creativity. Humans possess the ability to create even what AI is not even thinking about. And one of the things I tell, for instance, I teach my students is that even for you to allow AI to do something, you need the mind and the creativity to write prompts that will allow AI to create something that is unimaginable. So I think even that creative aspect of writing significant prompts to tell stories or to tell one thing or the other and critique what has been created so that the artist can then begin to imagine what is unimaginable. I remember when I was in school, photocopy came out, and then people are doing graphics. They will first of all go make photocopies from prints and so on and so forth. That thing never really worked with me. I realized that I could sit down, make my sketches and make my drawings and so on and so forth, and still come out with beautiful works of art from my own mind. It's like writing stories, Wale Soyinka's Mamanda, the Chinua Achebe. I still doubt today. Maybe an AI is something nice, but without a soul. So I believe humans, we still have a lot of things in our arsenal. AI is doing its thing. We will embrace it. Artists and in other professions will use it in ethical ways to benefit what they're doing. So I thank you all for what you have identified as problems and arguments and how we're going about it. And I hope that perhaps in the near future, we can come back again and begin to talk about what AI did and did not. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So interestingly, our host says she has a question.
I'm not your host. Okay, thank you very much for giving me this platform. I want to say that the presenters, your presentations were all very brilliant, very impressive, I must say. I would like to first of all comment on the first person that asked the question. You saying, oh, AI can lead to the erasure of a certain department. They should not only be the only department to be scared. Exactly. All departments should be scared at this point. I'm a historian. You can Google anything now and you will see like results on ChatGPT or any other AI platform that you use. It's scary for everybody now, but I'm sure AI cannot come and conduct research and maybe I do so I feel like I'm safe a bit. So like aside from that, I'd like to ask Dr. Okafor. You mentioned something about cameras and artists being like the owners of ideas. I'd like to ask, okay, when I put a prompt into like an AI app or something and it generates results, am I the owner of the idea or the AI that is the owner of the idea? I mean, I am the one that puts the information into it. It just gave me answers. Am I to claim it as my own, or I should just say, oh, it's just the AI that gave me this thing, even though the whole prompt was my idea in the first place? I don't know if you understand my question.
Very well.
All right. Thank you.
So,
that's all.
Ms. Chisom, I'll let you start. You want to respond, I guess?
Okay. Okay, thank you. I think the question that the last person asked had to do with AI ethics.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Okay. So he was trying to find out what exactly AI ethics is. And from the general notion of what ethics actually is, ethics is a branch of philosophy that has to do with morality, what is right and what is wrong. So that's just a layman's or a very simple definition of what ethics is, as a discipline. But now AI ethics has to do with morality, right and wrong, as touching on the use of AI. And basically what that field of ethics is concerned with is how AI can be used in society in such undermine people's rights. It does not cause harm to people. We know, for example, that there's this technology also linked to AI called deep fake, which, AI is able to generate images of real people, real places they actually are, and forming false narratives around people and around incidents. So it is such things like that that AI ethics tries to regulate, tries to curb, more or less. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You heard what I said.
Yes, we thank you, Chisom. Thank you very much. So, me.
There's a lot
Yeah.
to say.
Okay.
Another question. I asked already. She finished.
Okay.
Chisom, are you there?
So are you there?
Yes, I am.
Ma, we have 9 minutes.
I already asked. She didn't respond. Can I remind you something?
Ma, we
Just
have
give a
9 minutes.
question. What? Are you there?
Okay, you asked something about Homer.
Exactly.
Yes.
You said Omar's fictional.
Okay, yes.
On
Okay, so
report. Do you remember?
yes.
Please explain.
That was when I was trying to explain the origins of AI. So basically, what I was trying to say by that comment is that AI, or the origins of AI, is not actually something that is new. It's not recent. Ideas that led to the current contemporary AI that we know started from centuries back. And I was quoting an author, not myself, a different author, that said that the ideas behind AI started with people from way back, centuries back. For example, Homer, the Greek poet that we know, actually wrote in some of his writings. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, ma. Continue, ma.
Okay, yes, about artificial non-human assistants that waited on the gods at dinner. So that was the narrative behind Buchanan's, the person I was quoting, behind his idea that AI is not something that is recent, like a 21st century development, but something that actually the idea behind AI dates back centuries.
Thank you. I didn't get the explanation well. I guess I will mail you later after
Yes,
this.
yes. You can find our email
The
there.
email is there, so
Yes.
Can you give you a number?
no problem.
Okay, I feel like standing here so that. There is a lot to say, and we have limited time, so first, now try to summarize. Yeah, I very much understand this thing of artists being a mediator. Now we're talking about the democratization of the arts, and the artists whereby everybody now has access to these tools that can become access to the land. You know. Sorry, I'm summarizing my voice. Okay, but I'll tell you something that I'm sure will interest you all. You know, about portraiture, when camera came and digital art became a thing, a lot of people felt the portrait artists. Now, my portrait artists, I mean, those who sit and draw, or sit and paint. A lot of people, even my school, for instance, they were challenging about, your portrait artist is gone, just take a picture. I'm like, why would I go and buy you very expensive art when the camera can give me exactly the same way? You know, you may have heard such thoughts before. So it was imagined that in no time the portrait artist will go hungry. In no time, they may even disappear because how will they survive? And then, you know, even with the invention of the sewing machine, for instance, there were arguments about, what are you not I sit down and be sewing and be naming your clothes? It doesn't make sense. Can't find the machine. Now, with the invention of everything, there were fears about whatever that preceded it disappearing. Now, when you touch a handmade shoe in the market, you cannot compare the price with 20 machine-made shoes. The same has happened in the art industry. The portrait painters who sit and draw exactly the same thing that the camera will do, charge like 100 times more than the camera pictures, 100 times. Yeah, that's no one is saying. So for a portrait painting, for instance, you may be paying $1 million. Just a painting of this side. And what a camera can give you in your phone, exactly your face. And now this painting is exactly your face. What's the difference? Why pay $1 million for what somebody sat down to write? So it's like that with clothes. Handmade clothes are always more hand-woven textiles are always a lot more expensive than the machine ones. The same thing with the camera, you know. So for me, I imagine that happening with the AI. Art has been democratized through AI. It has continued to be democratized. But at the same time, those artists who have the skill, I believe, will be separated more from the noise. And the further away they move from the noise, the more expensive their output is less. I guess that's like, it's like that with every other thing you can think of. Your cars, you know, the machine ones, you can't compare them with hand woven ones, they are not comparable. Your clothes, your shoes, I mean, furniture, pieces of furniture. I'm a ceramic artist. And one of the fears that people had when they said they putting Chinese food was that, oh, these ones they are sitting down today, who will buy them? You go to China, you buy them 2 naira, 10 naira, and you're here creating something and you tell us it's for thousands of naira. Who is going to buy? But when you touch a work that I hand created, you cannot compare between what is 1,000 of them in the market. Mine is still more expensive than 1,000 for similar one. So my point is that it's like that in every industry. Usually there will be fears and eventually they will say, oh, actually, I can manage it. The more machine is able to create this thing, just like the AI is doing, less people will become interested. So these people on this side will get fewer. And you know the laws of demand and supply. So the fewer these things get, the higher it will go their prices. So I see exactly the same thing happening with AI in the near future. Now everybody can take pictures, but when you meet the real photographers, they tell you their price. The same picture you have your phone, you have your smartphone. Even if they give you their camera, use it. If you think it's camera point, use their camera. It's not be the same price as the one that they sat and took themselves. Was that? So that's that for that. And then somebody asked, was it a prompt? Does it make me the owner? It's you, madam.
Yes, madam.
Like I pointed out with the camera, this is we are even like journalists. Right now, there are no express rules about how to go about AI. I'll give you an example. I have a friend who traveled to Australia for his PhD program, and then his research was anchored on Facebook. You know, that happened 2000 around 2015. Sorry, that happened around 2015. And that was just when a lot of people had jumped into Facebook. So he wanted to conduct a research on politics and Facebook. And then he needed to reference some of the pictures and some of the wordings, you know, that he was getting from Facebook. And at the time, there was no ethic anywhere guiding research works from Facebook. So it was a challenge for himself and his supervisor. And then they had to attend conferences like this. They had to, you know, speak with people. They had to send emails. How are we going to do about this? Of course, if you leave it from Facebook, it's not his role. You may post something and then he wants to pick it. Now, how does it reference to? What is the standard? There was no standard. So before the end of his research, the academic body had already said, not in his institution, remember, he's not a personality. Yeah, but the academic body, through the conferences and all the interactions that happened, before the end of his research, which was 3 years after, there was now a well-established way of referencing materials from Facebook. So the way we know AI today, there is no result yet. Unlike the camera, remember, it's a journey. Yeah. And today there is result. AI does not have that kind of result because that's just met us and we have just met it. So we're all still in that process of trying to balance things out to understand the ethics, what should be, what should not be, the limits, and all of that. Yes, thank you. And then as AI don't more harm than good. I believe with the answer I gave earlier, this kind of touches on what we asked, otherwise there's done more. But I also believe sometimes these answers they don't come as yes or no. Sometimes there are usually blurred lines in between, you know. So don't expect me to give you a straight yes. But if you look at the instances from the camera particularly, and from the printing press I mentioned, from the handmade materials or wares anyway, maybe you yourself will be able to suggest answers. That's that for that. And then the anxiety interest, thank you so much for that. I think it was very interesting. And I too believe that there is nothing new for us. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Ms. Chisholm, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Dr. Trevor, we appreciate your
Thank you.
presence. There was another presenter, but unfortunately, they didn't make it to this. Yes, this brings us to the end of the Thank you.
You remember the artist Jeff Koons?
Thank you.
To answer her question, there's an artist, Jeff Koons, Jeffkooans.
He makes balloons.
Exactly. He doesn't make it himself. All he does is designs it and sends it to China. They do it and send it back, but it's his own.